with Greg Meakin, sir. And, you know, we're saving the best for last, Val, I'll tell you. Because, look, we've got something to talk about, I know. But Greg, we had a good conversation today. How you doing? What's going on?
Oh, boy, it's good to be back here. It's been a long time, James. We did, Val and I did, I think, 2 shows. I have a little bit of separation anxiety disorder not being on here for a while, but I'm feeling okay now. You took me down, side note, just to start, minute I start radio, I digress, right, James? But you took me down memory lane with your 72 Valiant.
Yeah.
With the slant 6.
That's it.
I own probably, I'm guessing.
Chevy Impala.
Oh, sure. These were great
that'll bring
cars.
you a little more close to home.
Oh, my mom had a 64 Bel Air. That's how I learned to drive up and down the driveway. 12 years old, you know those days. But I had, get this, James. My first car was a '68 Dodge Dart. With
Whoa.
you knew the slant 6. That's for babies though, right? But it lasts like 500,000 miles. But I had the 318.
Right.
I was a real man, James. I had the 318 V8. And do you remember the console with the stick shift?
Yeah.
The Dodge Dart. This is when cars. All I cared about. Guess what? I paid $150 for that car. I kept it for probably 2 years. Just drove it. We drove it all down to New England and everything. I always wanted to make sure I had a car that was fast. Seriously, you know, first business car was 1968 Plymouth Fury. You know, the big 6,000-pound car, you know, with the trunk big enough to put 5 bodies in it. Remember those, the Plymouth Furies? Remember that? Dude, I could sleep in that Fury. I sold real estate. I paid $450 for that car.
That's big money.
Oh, dude, but you know how it goes. Big car. It was for my clients, my real estate clients. I could, if I ever had one too many late nights, I don't know if you guys have ever had one of those where you actually have to sleep in your car, you know, how many times. But I could lay in the back seat of that Plymouth Fury with my feet down on one headrest and my head on the other headrest. I could completely stretch out, you know. Kept it for the old Mopar days. Kept it for 2-3 years and sold it for as much as I paid for it. So there you go. I even got it more than that. But you took me down memory lane, so I digressed.
Craig, my wife had a '69 Plymouth Slant Six. It was a state car. You know, no frills. That was kind of our first car before we bought one. You couldn't kill that car.
Sure.
Up 10 below zero.
Oh, yeah. It's when Chrysler built a nice product. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and some of those other models. I can't believe this. I bought a little car, when I was probably 18 years old, maybe a senior in high school. 1968 Ford Mustang convertible, James and Father and Val. 68 Mustang convertible. I paid $400 for this car, and it wasn't bad. I paid a couple $100 to paint it red, and there you go. But I couldn't afford the insurance. But a '68 Mustang convertible, paid $400 for it, sold it. 6 months later, after my mother was mad at me or something, for like $1,000. So
hey, you made some money.
I was in the auto industry before you were born, James.
my parents wouldn't pay for the insurance on my '62 Chevy Impala, which I paid $150 for, and so I had to sell it. But you know, they thought, oh, sure, we'll cover it. But in those days, forget it for us younger people.
Exactly. And there was no such thing as payment plans on insurance. I remember, seriously, I'm 18 years old, maybe even 17, and it was like $800 a year. They wanted it all up front. I said, I don't have $800. If I had $800, I'd buy a nice car.